Oh, I think that's us. Let me get this. Oh, I think that's us. Let me get this. Oh, I think that's us. Let me get this. Oh, I think that's us. Let me get this. Oh, I think that's us. Let me get this. Oh, I think that's us. Let me get this. I think that's us. Okay, welcome. We are live on YouTube. I'm peering over at my monitor to make sure that we are, in fact, going to be broadcasting okay here. There it is. I see we've got about a 9 or 10-second delay. Or as my brothers like to remind me, I joke, it's about a typical delay as when they try to talk to me. So it's just about the same. Oh, siblings, what are they good for? Hey, it is Tuesday. It is December 15th, 2020. We are in Hanukkah. We are nearing the solstice. We are nearing the end of the year. We are celebrating the electoral college victory yesterday of the new president and first female ever elected vice president. And there's a lot going on. COVID-19 virus is still raging across the country, unfortunately. So many cases, hospitalizations, and deaths. It's very tragic and very sad. On the good news, the virus started to be distributed around the world yesterday, the first virus, with 2 or 3 more coming very, very quickly. Again, it's going first to frontline healthcare workers. We thank them for everything that they do and all the danger that they put themselves in. It is astounding what they do. And to all the other frontline workers who are the essential people in this economy, delivery workers and sanitation workers and grocery store workers and every kind of person, law enforcement, police officers, fire, EMT, people who have to be there, and they show up and they are proud to do it, and we're proud of them. So that's the real heroes in the economy. As our economy goes forward in the next year and we pull out of the pandemic recession, please remember to remind your politicians who the real essential workers are and make sure that the economy gets somewhat more balanced in the favor of the average worker, the working poor, the middle class, folks who have been watching the huge separation of income up to the top 1 or 2%, which is very un-American in my opinion. So make sure you let them know America's about everybody, not only the equal rights, but the money. Make sure it's more fairly distributed. Starting off the week with a speech. Lord, this is, oh my, what can you do with a son of lawyers? So I spent my whole life following the law and following politics and reading Supreme Court decisions and watching the news endlessly and studying it endlessly and studying history. And yeah, that's what I get. That's what you get. Again, we start out every week hoping you and yours are well and safe and being kind and being positive. It is really challenging times, I know, for everyone. By this time, the pandemic is so localized, everyone knows people in their circle of families, friends, neighbors, athletes that your kids are on, the teams are on. It's just this is very serious business. And it is time for everyone to do their part in helping to control the pandemic. Mask up, social distance up, wash up a lot, be positive, be helpful, think about others, and be empathetic. That's the word of the day, empathy. Science and empathy. Heck of a combination. Away in a manger, no crib for his bed. Little Lord Jesus lay down his sweet head. The stars in the heaven looked down where he lay. The little Lord Jesus asleep in the hay. The cattle are lowing, the poor babe awakes. But little Lord Jesus, no crying he makes. I love thee, Lord Jesus, look down from the sky and stay by my side till morning is nigh. Be near me, Lord Jesus, I ask thee to stay close by me forever and love me, I pray. Bless all the dear children in thy tender care, and take us to heaven to live with you there. Oh, Away in a Manger, a classic carol and ballad song written in the 1830s and polished up in the 1860s and 70s, as far as my research can tell. A beautiful, beautiful song, a beautiful waltz, to try to tickle up a little bit by putting it in 6/8 feel slightly. So just a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful song. That was our opening up song for this week. Let me see here. So let's get on to some of our sharing right away. We've been using Zoom a lot the last couple of months to share different things having to do with the time of the year or the time of the season or the month. And as I mentioned at the start of the show, there's a lot going on right now. It is Hanukkah. It's the solstice. It is coming up on many winter festival of lights holidays, and many religious holidays as well. And the vaccine just started to get distributed worldwide yesterday. Here in the northeastern United States, we're expecting a pretty hefty storm tomorrow, anywhere from 10 to 20 inches or more, depending upon where you are. And they're still figuring out the track of this thing. So it'll be a very white and cold world for the next few days here in the northeastern United States. Make sure you and yours stay safe throughout the storm. Hey, let's look at the first thing that we were looking at. The first thing we mentioned was Hanukkah. So let's take a look at that first. It's a really beautiful and very, very short video from myjewishlearning.com. Talks about the Hanukkah and Hanukkah at home, particularly the menorah. So for folks like me who are certainly could learn a lot more about every faith in the world, this simple video that's only about a minute is very helpful about the menorah. So let's take a listen to that. Make sure I've got some volume here. Let's go. Let's try it. There we go. That was delightful. I really enjoyed that. So it is. Wow. So they are placed right to left and lit left to right. And the center one is the one that lights all the others. That's why it's in that special place. Beautiful. It's one of the lower Jewish holidays. It's not a high holiday, but it is a celebration of simple gifts and a festival of lights and a great time of year. Another thing is it is the winter solstice on the 20. Oh, I didn't memorize the date. It's on the 20th, 21st, or 22nd. It differs every single year. And this is from National Geographic, and it is, again, something very short, only about 1 minute. There'll be a quiz after this, so please take notes. This is about why it is the winter solstice in the northern hemisphere, which happens to be the hemisphere I'm in right now. Here we go. Let me see if I can enlarge this, and that should get me to the start of it. Here we go. fascinating, really fascinating. Let me stop the share on that. You know what? Um, Let me see if that actually did share. One second. I've got 1 second here to do this. Excuse me. Oh, yeah. So I'm not sure I actually clicked share on that. Maybe. I'm sorry. I'm going to show that again real quickly. I appreciate your patience. Grab a cup of tea if you saw the 50 or seconds or so that was on that. So we've got an ad ending in 1 second here, and I'm going to. Okay, let's do this share screen. Wonderful. That's from National Geographic, and that is the explanation of the winter solstice and the solstices. Uh, Seeing as we're on the winter solstice, let's do one more quick share screen. And here we go. So here's an example of 4 winter solstice rituals from around the world. The first one is in Stonehenge, and this will be on the solstice day coming up in a few days. People love to gather there at the solstices and equinox and sing and have a party and do all kinds of neat things. It's December 21st this year. There it is. The second one is a Krampus in Austria. Krampus is like this semi-evil counterpart to Santa Claus, who kind of scares Austrian children before Santa comes, the bad kids, and before Santa comes later in the holiday. And it's like this. Oh, it's really torturous. It's this mythical thing where kids, you better be good. And the Krampus in Austria is just a fun, big celebration in Austria. They don't take it seriously. It's all tongue in cheek, but it's a neat thing. In Ireland, of course, Newgrange is a old Druid Celtic and pagan site that's over 5,000 years old, where for a number of days the sun fills the chamber there for about 17 minutes right around the solstice for a number of days. And another big place where people come and try to get outdoors. That's another great thing about these Northern Hemisphere things. People get outdoors and have fun and get in the fresh air and see each other, and hopefully mask and social distance in areas where they need to. So the 60-foot passage in the chamber. In Japan, and this sounds great, people don't do it with these capybara, but they do it by themselves separately. People soak in hot baths in Japan with yuzu citrus fruit to welcome the winter solstice and protect their bodies from common cold. Oh, am I just give me a hot tub with fresh citrus and lemon in it and come get me in about a week. so, so there's some neat things there on the solstice. One last quick thing. Um, Paul Winter um, has been, the Paul Winter Consort has been together for about 50 years. It's an ensemble band. And Paul Winter is a multi-instrumentalist, reed player and brass player. And he has had a number of important albums over the decades. His most famous song is Icarus, a very gorgeous instrumental. Every year, um, he has celebrated the winter solstice with his ensemble, and for the last many decades, it has been been at the fantastic St. John the Divine Cathedral in New York City, which is a massive space where they put on this winter solstice concert with music and dance and information about the solstice. There's a really short bit I'm going to share from the 2019 solstice celebration at St. John's. And it's just fascinating. What a beautiful sound. That's Icarus. Wow. Stunning. Just stunning. As you can see, quite the celebration in New York City. And a gorgeous song, Icarus, if you get a chance to listen to it. It's a neat thing. So again, this is 3+ songs for Prometheus. It is Tuesday. It is December 15th, 2020. I'm Tom Cooney. I'm the host. This is a very short 30 minutes plus or minus a few minutes show every week live. I go back and do a little bit of editing later to put titles and clean it up a bit. But I'm on YouTube, Tom Cooney YouTube. Please subscribe. It's on that side. I figured it out because I'm in a mirror situation here on the camera. So it's over here. Please subscribe, please. If you like the video, please subscribe to the channel if you do. It's a great way for to let me know that you enjoy what you're seeing, and it's a good way for me to get attention from YouTube that the channel can keep going and have fun. And I'm glad I can put this effort out. I've heard so many nice things from so many of you this year. This is my first year ever doing a music podcast. I really appreciate all of your help and support and encouragement. It means more than you know. This has been a very strange, odd, and distant year for everyone. Sincerely appreciate all of you listening and all your support. The other thing I've been doing besides the half-hour weekly show is a show a couple of times a month called Songwriters Alive with Tom Cooney, where I interview one songwriter or one songwriting group. And we talk about the craft, we show their music, we talk about where you can get their music. And it's been fascinating. I've had just some wonderful guests this year. Thank you to all of them. My last episode was a watch party with the Acoustic Blues Project. That is my blues trio with Leon Bonham on bass and Earl Andrews on harmonica. And we watched a bunch of videos. We talked about music. We talked about the blues. We talked about different people we've sat in with and showed a lot of pictures, and a really fun thing. I really miss Leon and Earl, and I usually see them during the holidays and see them when we play together. So it's been a tough year from that perspective as well. But let me share a little bit of what we did during the Songwriters Alive with Tom Cooney episode. So I'm going to do another quick share here. To the full page.
Ladies and gentlemen, will you please give a warm welcome to the Acoustic Blues Project. Thank you. Thank sunrise, the blues are creeping around. They chasing me to this sweet little town. Way before sunrise, the blues are creeping around. Big hurt's coming, it's coming on down. Heavy weather brewing, black clouds are rolling in the air. More chance of thunder, lightning crash everywhere. Heavy weather brewing everywhere. Big hurt's coming, gonna wipe out my cover there. Hand me my guitar and my walking cane. That ancient highway, she's whispering my name. Hand me my guitar and my walking cane. It hurts coming, roll hard blues, yeah.
So that was Big Hurt Blues, and that was from Jamageddon, the festival created and hosted by Dana Gaynor. And we thank Dana for the opportunity to have played there a couple of times. Wonderful, wonderful stuff there. Hey, don't forget that for those of you who are in need of assistance, in this holiday season and throughout the many months that are still coming up. The 211.org you see on your screen there. And that's a national site across the U.S. It's where you can find specific help for COVID pandemic, crisis and emergency, disaster assistance, essential needs, help for service providers, help for people new to the U.S., and help for union members. So, for example, on COVID-19 and the pandemic, people who might need help finding food, housing, or other essential services, you enter in the search bar at the top there your zip code or your city and state, and that will bring you to those resources in your area. So a bunch of available resources, online screening tool, how to get economic impact and stimulus payments if you've not gotten them. And hopefully Congress will get around to releasing some more. They are many months behind in doing that. It is criminal. Rent and mortgage payment assistance. Oh, and health insurance and medical expenses, home internet access for a lot of families who need help with that now that a lot of kids are at home. So keep in mind, real simple, folks, that is 211.org. That's pound 211 on your phone, by the way. In Pennsylvania, so for example, each state has one of these. So in Pennsylvania, it's PA211.org or pound 211 on your phone. Again, a crisis hotline, housing and shelter, food, utilities, etc. You can read all of the wonderful things that are there. This economic and emotional impacts have been massive across society with this pandemic that keeps on raging. If you need help, this is where to come. If you know folks who aren't sure where to come, this is a good place to send them along, as well as locally. They make sure they know where their local food bank is. For example, in the upper Perkiomen Valley here in eastern Pennsylvania, that's the Open Link. Multiple resources, including a food bank. That's the openlink.org, openlink.org. In Philadelphia, of course, the many resources down there, but the massive food bank there is philabundance.org. Great time to donate too, folks. Donate food, donate money. This is a great time to do that stuff. So again, that's PA211.org in Pennsylvania or pound 211. And nationally, that's 211.org or pound 211. Important stuff for everyone to keep in mind during this very, very challenging season. So let's do one more tune and then let's get out of here. Next week will be dedicated to more holiday songs, including a challenge from Not for Coltrane, Michael Duck. We give each other, in addition to our own songwriting that we do off on our own, we give each other songwriting challenges that are due on a quarterly basis. And seeing as it's coming up to the end of the quarter, I figured I should start. So I promise, I promise, next Tuesday I will have my new song for the quarter. We each have the same challenge this time. Usually we give each other a challenge, a word, a phrase, a concept. We each have the same challenge this time. Write something seasonal for this time of year. That could be anything. It could be the winter weather. It could be the solstice. It could be the religious holidays. It could be anything. So something having to do with the season. Mine's going to be about, I have no idea. So stay tuned. I will too. Be well and be safe and be kind. Be as positive as you can, folks. Super challenging times here. We hope you and yours are well, and be smart. Mask up. Social distance up. Wash up a lot. Be smart. We're all going to stop this together. Science and empathy. Speaking of empathy, here's a song I wrote in February of 2018. I'm the all-night jazz DJ. Yeah, it's Mort's report. Keep the coffee on, I'm here all night long, right by your side. Of course. Well, that last track from the way back, the quintet 1945, laying down the groove, man, what's old is new. Ain't this a night to be alive? To those working hard on the midnight shift, to the night owls on the moon, to those rising early to seize the day, I'm with you, I'm with you. To the mothers up soothing the babies, and to the fathers on the red eye too. To the old and the young, remember we are one, and I'm with you. I'm with you all night. I'm with you. I'm with you. Well, this next tune goes out to the world with a shout. It's a prayer for me and you. It's full of fire and hope, and it throws a rope. We need love, and we need it soon. Hey, as we leave the night, it's all right. It's an honor spinning songs for you. In these midnight hours, we find our power to love and make the world anew. To those working hard on the midnight shift, to the night owls on the moon, to those rising early to seize the day, I'm with you, I'm with you. To the mothers up soothing the babies, to the fathers on the red eye too. Hey, to the old and the young, remember we are one, and I'm with you. I'm with you all night. I'm with you. I'm with you. Be well. We'll see you next week. Be safe, be well, be kind, everyone.